What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to get into, so we're not going to waste any time with an intro. The only thing that I want to mention is today at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be ripping this Tier 1 Topps box as well as the brand new Topps Chrome. My luck has been insane lately, so we're going to try and keep the streak going. The link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Do not miss it. So we have Joey Gallo almost getting ejected yesterday. We have Jonathan India continuing on with his Rookie of the Year campaign. And do I dare say this? Are the Red Sox back? Well, I mentioned this in yesterday's recap. The Mets keep on losing games by one single run to some of the best teams in Major League Baseball. Yesterday, it happened again. They lost 3-2. We're going to break down the game, but I think that's 6 or 7 times against the Dodgers and the Giants in the last 2 weeks, in which they only lost by one single run. So they're a good team, just maybe not elite just yet. Chris Bryant, he is making Mets fans pay for their management not trading for him and instead settling for Javier Baez. So he stays hot with a 2-run shot. He now has 6 home runs and 13 RBIs with a 131 OPS plus in his first 31 games with San Francisco. And to me, Pete Alonso is the one guy that seems to care the most for the Mets franchise because he just keeps on raking and raking. He now is up to 29 home runs, 75 RBIs, and just like Chris Bryant, a 131 OPS plus. And both starting pitchers, they only allowed those 2 earned runs on the home runs. Cookie Carlos Carrasco, he settled down, only allows 3 base hits in 7 innings, but Seth Lugo, he can't hold the tie. Jonathan Villar, I do want to show this clip. He has a scoop to home, and then Loop is able to escape a bases loaded jam, so you think the momentum is shifting. They had a cool web gem. They got out of the bases loaded situation. Just instead, Tyler Rogers decided to be perfect in a 1-2-3 ninth inning as the Mets, like we mentioned, lost another game by one single run, and now they are 7.5 games back of first place and 8 games back of the wild card. ESPN gives them a 3.3% chance of making the playoffs, so they're going to have to go 25-5 for the rest of the year if they want to make it. The Padres got swept yesterday and fall to 16 games back of first place because Mookie Betts was back, Max Scherzer was on the bump, and he strikes out the side in the first inning. So as a Padres fan, I feel like you knew the game was over early on. Austin Barnes, he smacks a 2-run shot off of Yu Darvish, who I picked to win the Cy Young. That is obviously not going to happen. Fernando Tatis' inexperience in right field showed. He was not able to catch this ball even though it hit the base of the wall out in right field. Cody Bellinger, his sac fly extends the lead to 4-0. Justin Turner starts a nice double play in the 4th inning for Max Scherzer. Tosses 7 2/3 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. And just because I kind of feel bad for Padres fans, Trent Grisham with shades of Grady Sizemore. They're actually putting up similar stats through their first year and a half, maybe 2 seasons. Now, luckily for the Padres, the other teams in the National League are kind of scuffling as well, other than the Reds. So the Padres are just 2 games back of Cincinnati for 2nd place in that wild card spot. Now, speaking of the Reds, they actually gained a game yesterday. It's still close. Again, only 2 games separate them. But Joey Votto, he has a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning, and he scores India. But India did not need any help in the 5th inning with a 3-run tater. He now has 17 home runs, 59 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, and an almost 120 OPS plus. Nick Castellanos, 24 home runs. He is batting .320 on the year. He has been sensational. Sonny Gray, he pitched with some extra motivation yesterday because this was unfortunately the date in which his father passed away. So I believe he said he's 3-0 on this date. So again, he has an angel with him every time he's out there on August 26th. What is happening to the Oakland Athletics? God, they have now lost 5 games in a row. Let's break down their game yesterday against the Yankees because the Yankees have won 12 games in a row, the exact opposite almost. So Aaron Judge and Joey Gallo, they get rung up on horrible calls. Joey Gallo doesn't get ejected, but Aaron Boone does. And I feel like this fired up the offense because Stanton and Brett Gardner, they both go yard immediately after Aaron Boone gets ejected. Anthony Rizzo smacks an RBI double, and Joey Gallo gets payback against the umpire. A 3-run, 420-foot bomb. But then the A's all of a sudden catch fire, and they go off for 6 runs, and the game ends up being tied going into the 9th inning. Aaron Judge, for whatever reason, people say that he's not clutch. He has been clutch time after time after time this year. So he drives in the winning run as Aroldis Chapman secures his 300th career save. Whether you like Aroldis Chapman or not, and yes, he's been very scary over the last month, 2 months, he is one of the most dominant relief pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. So the Yankees have won 12 in a row. They're 3 games ahead for first place in the wild card, but still 4 games back of first place of the Rays in their own division. And then like we mentioned, the A's, Yeah, they've dropped 5 in a row. The Red Sox, yesterday was a statement game. Bobby D drops the hammer on a 3-run nuke in the second inning, and Chris Sale tosses his 3rd ever immaculate inning. If you're new to baseball or you don't know what that means, that is 3 strikeouts in a row on 9 pitches. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Him and Sandy Koufax are the only pitchers to do it 3 times in one career. Verdugo endeavors driving a few on some singles, and Chris Sale was fantastic. 8 strikeouts, only 2 hits, and 5 in the third. Bobby Dahlbeck drives in his 5th RBI right before Devers smacks his 30th home run. He is tied for first in doubles. He has 30 home runs, 94 RBIs, and a 140-ish OPS plus. He's only 24 years old, ladies and gentlemen. And Bobby Dahlbeck, have yourself a day. 7 RBIs in yesterday's game, a 930 OPS in the second half. In Boston, they're 2 games ahead of the A's now for the wild card. The White Sox versus the Blue Jays. This was a hit parade for both teams. Marcus Semien goes yard. We're going to talk about him later on as well. But then Cesar Hernandez answers back, as well as Louis Bob. He now has a .331 batting average with 4 home runs and 5 stolen bases in just 39 games. He has been terrific. Jose Abreu goes back-to-back, and then Lurie Garcia drives in 2 RBIs on a double right before Tim Anderson. He's able to find a hole as well. Sebi and Tim Anderson, they drive in 2 more RBIs in the 6th. And then Marcus Semien, I know the Jays lost. Spoiler alert. He hits another home run, so he has 34 doubles. He is tied with Devers for number 1 in baseball. 32 home runs, a 134 OPS plus, and an almost 6 WAR. I definitely underrated him going into this season. So his 4 RBIs, as well as Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s defense, was not enough, as Eloy belts one. And then Craig Kimbrell gets his first save for the White Sox. He is so much better in the closer role. I don't know what it is, but he now has 372 career saves, just 28 away from 400. So apparently yesterday was Thai France Day. This was a lot of fun because Mariners fans, they were passing out French baguettes. I mean, I don't know if you can classify them as French because they're not from France, but you get the drill. Jake Fraley drives in a run on a bases loaded walk, and Kyle Seager has 30 home runs already with a month left to go. I mean, he has a chance to hit 35 to maybe 40. Brad Keller has to leave the game with a bicep problem, and then Jake Fraley takes advantage of that by roping a 2-run bomb, but then here comes Kansas City. Whit Merrifield doubles in a run, and then Salvador Perez takes care of the rest. This guy has been unstoppable. 35 home runs, 86 RBIs, and an almost 4 WAR on the season. That is insane for a catcher. Nicky Lopez drives an insurance RBI in the 7th, and Benny Biceps robs the struggling Jared Kelenic. I really got to feel bad for Kelenic because I think he has a sub 200 on base percentage over the last 7 days, so not doing too well. Scott Barlow comes in for the save, and the Royals are now 7-3 in their last 10 games. Moving on over to the Diamondbacks versus the Phillies. Rojas and Ellis driving 2 runs on a few different singles, and then Nick Ahmed drives a 2-run shot 409 feet. Zach Gallen was great. He did allow a home run to Gene Segura, but both of those runs were unearned, so technically he went 5 innings, did not allow a single earned run, and had 6 strikeouts. As Drupal Cabrera and Carson Kelly make it 6-2 on a couple different singles, and Joe Girardi, what is he doing? He brought in a left-handed pitcher against Carson Kelly. Carson Kelly is the destroyer of lefties. He hits a 2-run shot right in Girardi's face. Bryce Harper smokes a 2 RBI double to the gap, and then Didi ropes 2 RBIs as well. He brings it to within 1 run, and then, Brad Miller, he ruins Aaron Nola's no-hitter in perfect game, and then he strikes out to end this one. So the Phillies have lost 3 games in a row, and they're 6 games back of the wild card. The Orioles versus Angels series has been strange, to say the least. Ohtani, he goes off for home run number 41, so he is still on pace to win MVP pretty easily. He might even win unanimously, but that was it for the Halos. The score was 1-1 going into the 5th, but then Mancini drove in an RBI, you have DJ Stewart driving an RBI, and then Pedro Severino, a career day, has a grand slam, as Keegan Aiken only allowed 1 earned run on 6 strikeouts in 7 innings, only allowed 3 base hits as well. You have Ramon Urias and Ryan Mountcastle driving in 4 RBIs total on the day, and Pedro Severino wasn't done. He had 6 RBIs in yesterday's game, as the Orioles, they're on a 2-game winning streak after losing 19 in a row. Pittsburgh Pirates versus the St. Louis Cardinals. This game was the definition of roller coaster because Nolan Arenado was able to turn on an inside sinker for his 26th home run of the year. He is good regardless of course field or not. Edman and Goldie make it 5-0, and Edmundo Sosa, he puts the Cardinals up 7-1. There's no way that they choke this, right? Oh, they do. Colin Moran hits a 2-run shot. Brian Reynolds drives in 2 RBIs on this single. Wilmer Defoe finds the gap to tie it up, and then Gregory Polanco doubles to left, which is very confusing to me because a few days ago there was a million reports that the Pirates actually dropped Gregory Polanco, and ever since that happened, he's actually been doing pretty well because it looks like he wasn't dropped because he's on the squad. Yoshi Susugo hits his 3rd pinch hit home run of the week. Bednar closes it as the Cardinals, they fall to 4.5 games back of the 2nd place in the NL wildcard. Cleveland versus the Texas Rangers. Give Straw a lifetime contract now. Miles Straw has been so good for Cleveland so far. He has 4 stolen bases and a 113 OPS plus in 25 games. Franmil Reyes, he doubles in an RBI, and then Bradley Zimmer goes 465. Each of his last 3 home runs have traveled 460 feet or more. He hit 471 a few days ago. Ram drives in an RBI on this single, and then he steals his 3rd base of the game. Franmil knocks him in, and Owen Miller, this guy can be good. I feel like his ceiling is high, but he is scuffling just like Jared Kelenic. He hits a home run, and then Bradley Zimmer, he ends up with 3 RBIs on the day. He now has 6 home runs and 11 stolen bases in 69 games. That's actually pretty solid. Cleveland is on to Boston. I am so excited for this series, but you didn't think that Miles Straw was done. I forgot to show this. Look at this catch from Miles Straw earlier on in the game. Just like Trent Grisham, I am seeing shades of Grady Sizemore, at least as a defender for Cleveland, and that makes me very happy. And last but not least, the Marlins versus the Nationals. You have Brian Anderson starting the offensive explosion for the Marlins as Jorge Alfaro hits a 3-run bomb 417 feet, and that was right before Miguel Rojas, Miggy Rowe as they call him, hit a 2-run shot. Now Juan Soto, man, he showed up yesterday, 433 feet, 114 miles per hour with this laser beam. Brian Anderson with his 2nd RBI single as the Nationals try to make the comeback. It took 3 different pitchers to end the game, but the Marlins, with the help of Dylan Floro, he gets his 6th save of the year, and they win 7-4. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. Do not forget to come to my Twitch. We're going to open up the brand new Topps Chrome as well as the Tier 1. There are 2 guaranteed autos in this one, and they could be hefty. But thank you for watching. Stay safe out there. And in 1982, I think 39 years ago today, Ricky Henderson made some history.
There he goes. And the throw down, and the oh! Here's rule space number 118 for Anderson. Crowd, although they have signs up here for Ricky, are booing the call.